Let's wrap up Seneca's De Vita Beata on the Happy Life using the handy Oxford World Classics edition of some writings of Seneca, page 109. He refers to the sort of thing Socrates can say about virtue. And then he comments on these Socratic words and says, "These will be the words of the man who has discovered wisdom, whose soul, untarnished by any vice, prompts him to take other men to task, not out of hatred, but so that he might bring them a cure." Okay, so the wisdom of someone like Socrates is the wisdom to recognize the value of wisdom, first of all. It's, second, the wisdom to have a soul untarnished by any vice. Third, it's the wisdom to correct other people, not out of hatred for those people, but caring for those people, to correct other people to support the curing of their own souls. Skipping a bit, more quotes he puts in the mouth of Socrates as a representative of wisdom, paragon of virtue. He says, this is the sort of thing this paragon of virtue would say, and I'm going to skip most of it, but here is one really lovely part of a line. "I nonetheless give you this advice for your own sake, admire virtue. For your own sake, I advise you, virtue is what should be admired. Nothing else. Not money, power, fame, physical pleasures. What must be admired is virtue. Not even life itself. What must truly be admired as of true value is just virtue. Virtue is the most important thing." All right, let's go to page 110. "Hear now, Socrates, cry out from that prison which he made pure by entering it, and made more honorable than any senate house. A senate house has senators in it, and the senators are people whom we greatly honor, but real honor should be given to virtue." And Socrates in prison awaiting his death, but sticking with virtue no matter what, doing his obligations, fulfilling his duty no matter what, no matter that they were going to kill him. Socrates makes his prison more honorable than any senate house. And there's a nice long quote from Socrates. I'll just read this small portion of it. Now again, this is not direct words of Socrates. This is not quoted from Plato on Socrates. This is Seneca giving his own words to say what Socrates means. Socrates' ideas given in Seneca's own words. "Hear now, Socrates, cry out from that prison," or "hear now the sort of thing Socrates says by his own teachings and by his example, from that prison which he made pure by entering it and made more honorable than any senate house, etc., etc. I show myself like some desolate rock in shallow sea waters, that the waves never stop beating on, from whichever quarter they have risen, but nonetheless they do not shake it from its base or wear it away by their unending onslaught over many ages. A rock in the sea resists an endless buffeting of waves, and that is an image of virtue, an image of the morality of a person who recognizes that virtue matters more than anything else, who will not sacrifice virtue for the sake of money, power, fame, or physical pleasures, or even for the sake of preserving life itself. Someone who, like Socrates, will lay all of these things down just because it's right. Well, let me rephrase. Will lay all of these things down rather than lay down what is right, because what is right matters more than any of these other things. And secondly, this is an image of the stability of a happy life. The happy life is the life that is blessed with tranquility and cannot be affected by, well, whatever misfortunes, whatever troubles other people and circumstances and bad luck might throw at us. We should desire to be such a rock ourselves. And how can we be such a rock and have a stable life, stable happiness? By recognizing that virtue is what really matters and living our lives accordingly. Nothing else matters. Virtue is what matters. I suppose that will do. I suppose we are finally done with De Vita Beata. There is a lot more in this volume of Seneca writings, and it is likely that I will look over at least some of the passages in the later text, that we may go a lot faster through the second half of this book than we went through the first. Anyway, maybe I'll see you next time with more Seneca.